in Sydney. Today we're going to be exploring the Sydney coffee scene. We'll be going to some mainstay coffee roasters that have been around for several decades and some newer ones that have been going for under 10 years. G'day mate.
G'day Ed.
We're here at All Press, first stop from Sydney Airport. So Jordan, what is All Press?
I would describe it as being a focus on having really consistent coffee, quality flavour, and a really good focus with people.
And that was started by the founders, Michael Allpress, and then in Australia, Tony Pappas.
Mike Allpress actually was working over in America 30 years ago, and then at that point he really wanted to bring that home. So once he came back to New Zealand, he just started off with a coffee cart, and it just naturally propelled into what we have.
Most places we've visited have been conductive heat, direct heat, but you're an air roaster here. Why does Allpress roast without?
The entire bean is encapsulated with a 360 degree heat, which means we're never worried about scorching or inconsistencies. We're just going to get a really good, complete, even roast every time.
What's the perfect coffee for you?
My favorite experience is coming out of the surf, ducking up, grabbing yourself a long black and fresh croissant, and just smashing those two down. You still got that salt and sea. It's great. It's been a pleasure, Ed. Thanks for coming in.
See you soon. We're in Leichhardt at Bar Italia, where possibly coffee first came to Sydney. We'll go in and have a chat to Con, the owner. Con, mate, thanks for the delicious coffee.
You're most welcome, man.
Describe the Bar Italia coffee culture.
As it is in Italy, you walk up to the bar, a cafe. The guy that ran this, who started coffee, said, okay, we're going to do cappuccinos, but we're only going to do one milk. We're going to do cappuccino and cafe, which was a milky coffee and an espresso.
Just coffee. So Bar Italia's coffee philosophy is no nonsense, no skim.
No skim.
No soy.
No soy.
No almond.
No almond.
And to this day, it's one of the draw cards of the place.
Absolutely.
The old purist coffee philosophy. Describe Bar Italia's coffee to me.
Classic Italian coffee, like you're back in Italy.
And is it true you have the best vanilla gelato and the best affogato in Sydney?
We do have the best affogato in Sydney, but it's the pistachio is the creme de la creme.
Mate, thanks for today. Thanks for all your time. I know how busy you are. Before we go, I'm going to try this pistachio. Can you tell me about it really quickly?
Yes, really quickly. It's triple roasted nuts from Bronx in Sicily, homemade here by my brother-in-law Marcello. That's all.
That's amazing.
Say no more.
Next up is Sample Coffee Roasters in Sydney's Inner West.
Yo, Ed, what's up?
How are you, mate?
How are you?
Thanks for having us, Ruben. Cheers.
Welcome to Sample Coffee.
What is Sample Coffee?
This is what it is, coffee roasters.
What was your philosophy and why did you start Sample Coffee?
I guess my background was a roaster from Mecca, and I wanted to start my own business from forever ago, and I didn't want to lose touch with trying different coffees.
Yep.
So the idea was Sample, and we started multi-roaster. We used mecca as our base blend, and then we would just buy coffee to share with all our customers.
We've both been baristas for a long time.
Yeah.
As a barista, you were saying you try to capture all the coffees?
Yeah, we just try and capture all the flavour in the coffee. We don't want to put any roast flavours, we don't want to change how the actual coffee tastes, and we just want to...
You want to enhance what the farmers...
we want to get that flavour in the cup, the best we can.
Is there one particular coffee or several particular coffees that stand out to you over the last 10 years?
For me, it's always been Ethiopia. Those coffees, the complexity is amazing. We're arriving at Sydney City Fringe at Luma Zocco, Sydney, to talk coffee machines and innovations.
All right. Welcome. Thanks so much. Have a coffee.
Cheers.
Ready for you.
Thanks for having us here at Luma Zocco, Sydney, mate. What can you tell me about Luma Zocco?
Quite simply, we're an espresso machine manufacturer. Founded in 1927, so we're 93 years old. So we've seen a lot of change over those years, a lot of innovations and developments in the coffee industry, as you probably imagine. Here we are, one of 12 branch offices globally.
So Luma Zocco's a family business, but obviously with a global approach. How does that translate to the Sydney market with lots of roasters, but quite a small market.
We try and keep the same values, that small family business approach to a lot of different customers. That's our number one goal.
The Luma Zocco family.
Luma Zocco family, that's
Luma
it.
Zocco family.
And we're a pretty small team.
Yep.
Especially in Sydney. So we want to make sure that we get out there as much as possible and support the community.
Yep. There's a lot of great coffee equipment out there, and Luma Zocco's been a key supporter of the industry and adapted to the industry over the last 20 odd years. How do you think Luma Zocco's helped support that change from old school espresso to new wave specialty?
We're just really trying to answer the questions and answer the issues and the problems that the coffee community is facing now, and keep developing it so we can continue to satisfy the market.
And here we are at the Little Marionette Coffee Roastery, a place I call home.
So Ed, tell us about Little Marionette.
Marionette's string puppets, and it's about pulling those strings to bring the puppet to life. The Little Marionette is about pulling on the right strings to bring the coffee to life from crop to cup. We've been going for a little over 10 years. It's flavour first, as when people are drinking coffee, that's what really matters, and then we build community around that.
So the Little Marionette's been around for over 10 years. How do you see the coffee scene change in that time?
When the Little Marionette began, it was double ristrettos, little double rizzies, and really thick, syrupy, in-your-face coffee. Now we're trying to find a delicate balance between giving enough flavour and not too intense, and trying to focus on the more delicate notes in the coffee. The Sydney coffee scene's become a lot more sophisticated, and as wine was 15, 20 years ago, where everyone had an opinion on wine, I find that in Sydney everyone's got an opinion on coffee.
Do you see the Sydney coffee scene having an effect on the global coffee market?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The broader Australian coffee scene has definitely been adopted overseas. You go to London, you go to New York, and you see signs, A-frames out in front of cafes saying Australian coffee served here. We've been supplying places in England and America for quite some time now, and that's been hugely successful. I think one flavour, but the culture, everyone wants a piece of the Sydney coffee scene or the Australian coffee scene.
So as a coffee roaster, how do you like your coffee?
It's black, long black, filter. Like to taste the coffee that I'm drinking. Yeah.
Good man. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you, mate. Good on you. We're here at Sydney's Food Darlings, Cornersmith, to discuss sustainability within cafes. G'day, Alex.
How are ya?
Yeah, good. Thanks for doing this
That's
today.
all right.
What is Cornersmith?
So Cornersmith is a cafe over here, and we're all about good food, good coffee, and sustainability. There was lots of coffee shops going on that did great coffee, and then there was places that did great food, and there was a little bit of there wasn't the joining of it all together.
Yep.
So we wanted to kind of pull everything together.
You wanted the melting pot of harmony.
We wanted the melting pot, exactly.
Yeah. So, is it true that people bring in food swaps, a bucket of kumquat?
Yeah, so we have a trading program that we set up really early, so people can bring in anything extra that they've grown that they're not going to be able to use and trade it for coffee. So
Brilliant.
I know, and it happens all the time. I'd say every other day someone brings in a box of lemons or a bag of rock oak or whatever it is. And that's been a really nice part of the business as well, is finding ways to, someone else collects our onion skins and someone collects the coffee crime.
So James, tell us about your coffee program.
Okay, so the program is Mecca for our milk-based coffees and Origins, predominantly for our milk-based coffees. It's very
Consistency in the morning.
smooth. Yeah, it's like a consistent thing. It's a changing seasonal blend.
But for your singles?
And for the singles, we use sample. Often sample, yeah. Light roast, very clean sort of expression of coffees. I quite like bright, expressive coffees, and they hit that on the nail.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. And next up is Mecca Cafe and Roastery in Alexandria, Sydney.
Hi.
Thanks for today.
You're welcome.
Who is Mecca?
Who is Mecca? Well, we're a coffee roastery that started 15 years ago, and we primarily started as a roast to retail roaster. So we select a lot of coffees that we believe are really good, and we hope that people can share in that same experience. What we like to do at Mecca is we want to understand what farmers are going through. We want to understand what their intentions are behind green coffee, and how can we take that same story and incorporate it into who we are as a business.
And just enhance the work that they've
Enhance
done.
the work that they're doing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Describe the Mecca flavour.
The Mecca flavour is complex, sweet, clean.
When you visit a cafe customer of yours, because you're predominantly wholesale, what do you love seeing? at that cafe.
We have the capability to really lighten somebody's day, and I think that is a huge step of success for a customer. When we're serving coffee to people, we hope that everything lines up towards that experience and it complements that experience, but if a customer walks away happy, that's
the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal.
How you doing, mate?
Hi, man.
Good to see you. Welcome to Sydney.
Thanks very much.
Come through.
G'day, Sam. Thanks for today, man. Cheers.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. What is On a Coffee?
On a Coffee is a small roastery that started in Canberra about 10 years ago. Big focus is on improving coffee. We have our own coffee farms, we have our own sourcing company, we do obviously wholesale, and retail as well. So
Everything.
yeah.
How do you see Sydney coffee scene versus Canberra?
Although Canberra is the capital of Australia, it's a lot smaller in terms of market share and people's interest, and I find for us Sydney's really a chance to spread our wings and try new things.
Is there one particular coffee that stands out over the years?
If I'm to pick something that's possibly a little bit more humble and approachable, I would say a good Wash Canyon. You can't go past it any day of the week.
Moving forward, what's in store for On a Coffee?
For On a Coffee, we're looking to obviously have a flagship in all the main cities in Australia, and then big focus international. So you'll start to see us abroad, hopefully, once everything settles down. In Europe, in Asia, in Middle East, possibly. That's the big ambition.
Global domination.
Hopefully.